Hey YouTube, this is Dark Rising. Got another video. Um, let's see what to talk about. Oh yeah, the Aqua Remore. Alright, so as you can see, it's not really doing anything right now. I'll tell you, I got some stuff out of it. It was skimming earlier, but when I topped off my water with fresh water, it stopped working. It was only a little bit and it stopped working. Not that concerned about it. I hear after doing water changes, or sometimes when you do a top off, then it'll stop working for a little bit. But it has been working for the last couple of days. I've actually cleaned the cup out twice. The reason why I cleaned it out twice instead of letting it, fill up a little bit, and the reason why I cleaned the back glass somewhat, is I had a white bacteria bloom, which I don't know if you can tell, right to the right of those zoanthids. Is that string waving? It's like on the rocks, even over here on that back rock. I can't zoom in on this, but there's bubbles covering it from this bacteria slime. Now, I looked it up online, did my best to look it up, and found out it could be caused from all kinds of stuff, but I do know it did start directly after I put the new bag of Chemi Pure Elite in, and I didn't rinse out my skimmer before I started using it. So I'm thinking one of those two may have had something to do with it. It contributed something extra into the system, and the bacteria just kind of went haywire on it. So, but it could be those. Some other things I've found out, it could be alcohol, having alcohol close to the aquarium. There's some kind of bacteria in it, or there's something in alcohol that could possibly cause a bacteria bloom. Something as simple as an air freshener, carpet freshener, things to keep pet odors down, any of that kind of stuff could possibly, come into contact with this water and feed in a bacteria bloom. So I did my best to clean most of it, and in doing so, the rock work got moved a little bit so I can get to that back glass. So it may look a little different, but I don't think it's that much different. But I still like it. I think it's pretty cool. So I don't think the Aqua Remore is completely broken in. Like I said, like other people have said, it takes some Aqua Remores, like in the rare chance, it could take them up all the way to 2 months to completely break in. Now, on the same note with mine, it has started working, but what it'll do is it'll skim, and then it'll just like stop. It'll stop skimming. You'll see those thick dry skim bubbles at the top that'll just like fade away because it just stops skimming. I think a lot of that from my aquarium has to do with the fact that I do water changes. I clean up my sand bed as best as I can when I do water changes to siphon out anything. Now, I have hermit crabs in here. I have an emerald crab, and I have a Mexican turbo snail. 2 Seraph snails, and 1 bumblebee snail that's hiding somewhere in here. I had 2. That's the skeleton of the old one. It's been sitting there forever. I don't have any fish, so you'd think the bio load in here is pretty low. But when I go to do my water change to clean my sand bed and my rocks, and I blow my rocks off, there is so much sediment laying on my rocks, which is why I don't think I have that much coralline algae growth anymore, because there's sediment sitting on my rocks. So, and also that Mexican turbo snail, that thing puts out a lot of waste. At one point I thought, well, I might need 2, maybe. But not really, because the bioload that little dude puts out, because he eats, he goes nuts. He eats a lot of stuff. And mainly the stuff that I'm siphoning off of the sand bed is his waste, is the Mexican Turbo Snail's waste. So, we have the skimmer. It's kind of starting to work. Doesn't really work when you do water changes or top off. Coralline algae hasn't been growing as much, and I think it's due to the sediment in here. Corals seem to be doing fine, the few that I have. Moving some of the rock work though, I did drop a piece of rock, a small piece of rock, fell and rolled straight over those Paulson zinnias, and they looked pretty crappy. Like, I mean, they looked like they turned some dark purple color, got all limp looking, and a few hours later they started opening back up. Mushrooms. And that's pretty much about it for this update. I mean, yeah, as far as the rock work, you can tell this was laying further back. It's back standing up. So, but as far as some other news, I have ordered some new lights for my fixture, because it's about time. They say 6 months at least, but these were stock bulbs from Odyssey. And I've heard that even on certain T5 fixtures with some ballast, like the Ice Cap ballast, 660 or something like that, that the par dramatically drops out of the bulbs after 3 months. So I'm thinking if these are just regular run-of-the-mill bulbs and they're cheap, I'm thinking the par's probably done dropped out of them, and it's probably about time to upgrade them. Now, I'm not too sure. I had Wesley Forbes had suggested a light combination here a while back when I said I wanted to get some ATI bulbs for this fixture, and I almost went with them, but I want to try something a little different just to see how it looks. And that bulb combination is going to be 2 ATI Coral Pluses as my daylight bulbs, 1 Purple Plus, and 1 Blue Plus. And the Purple Plus and the Blue Plus are going to be my dusk to dawn lights, and my Coral Plus are going to be my daylights. And the Coral Plus is supposed to add a little tint of blue with the whiter color, so it's like a white blue. And I'm just going to see how it works out. I've already ordered them, and they should be coming in about a week or so. Maybe a week and a half, considering I bought the bulbs from the same place I got the skimmer, and it took about 8 or 9 days for it to get here from California. So we'll see how long it takes for that. Now, as far as sediment and stuff being on my rocks, I'm not getting good coralline algae growth anymore. After this bulb replacement, I'm going to start getting some corals, some more corals, and of course the fish. We'll be getting the fish. Now, as far as fish, a question to y'all is, this is a 20-gallon high tank, and I have a pretty good skimmer on it. I have Kimmy Pure Elite running in the Hang On Back Aqua Clear, and I'm going to have brand new lights. Now, there's only 4 fish I want to get, and my question is it going to be too much of a buy load, and I'm going to tell you what fish those are. Those fish are going to be, I want to get 2 clownfish, 1 Bangkok cardinal, and a firefish goby. Now, if anybody's had any experience with those 4 in the same aquarium and you know how they interact, I would like some feedback, or if you've had at least one of them. I pretty much know how clownfish are going to be. They're pretty goofy, large personalities, but as far as them all being together, and would that be too many fish for this aquarium? Now, after I get some more coral, well, I'm going to get my lights in. I'm going to get some fish and some more coral. And then after that's established, I'm going to start saving up some money to get a Vortec pt1 for this aquarium, so I can take out